These two Georgian cottages occupy a prominent spot in Hillsborough's conservation area. They've been restored by the Brady family with the help of local craftspeople and include unique features such as their lattice windows, faithful replicas of the originals. The cottages were built around 1825, but by 2017 only exterior walls remained. Bringing them back to life involves some detective work.
We're just outside at the edge of Arthur Street and Ballynahinch Street, and behind me you'll see number 1 Arthur Street and number 21 Ballynahinch Street, the two properties that we've recently restored. This was originally the blacksmiths and the cottage of the village, and they were used up until about the late 1960s. After that time there wasn't really any need for the blacksmiths, so the buildings began to fall into disrepair after that, and really they needed a new purpose. The cottages really came into my possession, I suppose, by default. We had purchased a house here back in 2017, and actually the remains of the blacksmith and the cottage we inherited as part of that property purchase. We knew that the walls were listed, so we were very keen then to repurpose the building and had to decide what we were going to do with them. But we had no idea of what they originally looked like. So we went to the Ulster Architectural Heritage Society, and they kindly were able to show us a sketch done by Marcus Patton back in 1978, which showed what the blacksmiths and the cottage would have looked like originally, and we were able to base our plans on that. There was a lot of work to be done to the buildings to bring them back to what they would have looked like. There were just the two outer walls, the windows were blocked up, the doors were blocked up, and inside had been completely taken away. Concrete had been just put on the floor, inside staircases were gone, etc. And then eventually the roof had been taken off as well, so you did end up just with the two walls. I suppose one of the challenges we had in the house was to try and get the right windows to try and put it back. So we were trying to look for evidence of what the windows would have actually looked like, and we were lucky to get a BBC clip back in the 1970s. My difficulty then was trying to replicate those, and we looked all across the UK to get a company to do it, and actually we ended up with a local company that were able to replicate from that BBC clip what the windows were like. So now they're in wood and they're all handmade. Each one is different. Yeah, number 1 Arthur Street is back to its original purpose, which was a house in the village. It's a small 2-bed cottage, so we were able to restore that. We now have a deli here at the front, so we have the locals again coming to the building and using the building on a regular basis, and I think it just adds to the rich tapestry of life that we can restore these and keep these. And many people, when we were restoring the building, were able to come along and tell us lots of stories about it, how they remembered it. Some people told me they were at school, because the original school is just opposite the blacksmith, and they were able to tell me they used to sit in class and they used to envy the Gordon boys who were the blacksmith's sons, because they left school at about 16 and were working across the street in the blacksmiths. And of course they could hear the anvil, they could hear the horses, etc. So it has memories for a lot of people, and for younger people coming up, and my own children, it's part of the history of Hillsborough that they have on their doorstep.